At the end of the first day's journey, Joseph and Mary began to search for Jesus, but couldn't find him. They asked their relatives and their friends, but no one had seen him. Here's what I think probably happened. Jesus was 12, right? He was that tween. He was right in between being a child back with the mom, or ahead with mom, and being a man back there with dad and the men. So I'm assuming this, being a parent at some point, I'm assuming that Mary thought Joseph had him and Joseph thought Mary had them. And the reality was he hadn't given them much trouble, so they didn't think about it a whole lot. And it turns out when they got there that first night, he was nowhere to be found. Once they realized that he wasn't with them, you can imagine, like again, let's make it human. Imagine the panic, right? Like I had a couple moments where I thought I lost one of my kids in a store. And it's just, all of this panic, and it turns out they're just an aisle away, but all of the panic that happens, imagine knowing you're a day away, knowing that at best you can't get to him till tomorrow. And he's in a city he's possibly never been in before. Surrounded by who knows who's still there. They say as many as 1 million people went up to Passover. The humanity of this was a big deal. Scripture says they turned around, they went back to Jerusalem. That took another day. It seems that when they got to Jerusalem, they spent the day searching the city. And then finally, 3 days since they'd seen each other, they found Jesus in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening and asking questions. I love this part. Jesus, the Son of God, the Word who was with God and who was God, the uncreated creator of all things, was found listening and asking questions. Jesus had set himself to learn. Even at 12, Jesus had all the authority but chose humility. The one whose voice creation listens to and obeys sat and listened to and even asked questions of the teachers of the law, who taught his law. It was his law. He breathed it out. It was his. And yet he found himself sitting, listening, and asking them questions. If we want to follow Jesus, we have to do a better job of setting ourselves in the position and the posture of learning. Far too often we want to teach, we want to tell, we want to talk, but humility will lead us to listen, to ask questions, and to learn. And listen, it's not that we don't have anything to teach, but there's always more to learn, right? So maybe I do have something somebody needs, but there's always something someone has for me. Again, James's words ring in my ears: be slow to speak, quick to listen, and slow to become angry.